Knock, knock. That's it. That's the joke. Normally you say who's there, but we knocked him out, so we can't say anything. Terrible joke. I'm sorry. Please don't leave the video. Welcome back to my Ironman Progress from Scratch series. We've got a lot more progress to cover today, so just a quick 10-second summary of the last episode. Did some fruit stall thieving to get our level up, powered through a bunch of quests, got a good 22 points in total, failed at some safe spots, and then started doing some blackjacking. I was a little rusty on my blackjacking, so I actually got KO'd a couple of times. The problem you have is because at such a low level you fail the actual knockout so often, sometimes you have to try again so that you can cancel the animation, otherwise you'll enter combat. But if you spam blackjack too much, or you accidentally end up in combat and you're such low HP, you can get KO'd really quickly, which is what happened to me. Fortunately, there is actually a better way to do it. So you can see in this clip here, what I do is, right when I get into combat, you let the hit splat appear, then immediately lure and hold down the spacebar to start a conversation, and then that will actually go through and cancel, and then you just resume blackjacking as normal. Anyway, I think that's enough blackjacking. We hit level 50, which is just what we need to go do the Rogue's Den minigame. It's not really worth doing blackjacking without the Rogue's outfit because it gives double the coins essentially, so you'd be missing out on a lot of GP. So we're going to pause here and head on and do some other stuff. So we're going to jump across the map with a minigame teleport to Clan Wars, i.e. Ferox Enclave, and if you weren't aware, you can actually get a portal to Castle Wars from here. We're going to head up and do the Observatory quest, and also just pick up a few items along the way. There's a super anti-poison spawn up here, which is incredibly useful for Ironman, so we're just going to hop worlds for a little bit and fill up an inventory of them. Right, we've got pretty much a full inventory, so let's knock out the Observatory quest. And quest complete. We've got our minigame teleport back off cooldown, so we're going to use Fishing Trawler and head over to Port Khazard. And it's time for one of the Iron Man's best friends, the charter ships. We're going to buy ourselves 1600 soda ash for future crafting and also 10 buckets of slime while we're here. So one thing I did just to make it a little bit easier on myself is use the menu entry swapper with Runelight, which basically lets you swap the left click functionality of pretty much any item in the game. So by swapping it to buy on left click, I can just open the shop and click rather than have to right click, drop down and then buy whatever amount. Almost there. I've been lucky, it hasn't been too competitive. Sometimes if it gets really busy, because this is the closest one to bank, people come here a lot, you can also just go to Catherby and it's a little less competitive to get your items. And that's our 1600 soda ash, so we're going to head to Catherby now. Also, from this clip onwards, I've been playing around with the Runelight settings on stretched mode and using the GPU plugins to hopefully make the image a bit sharper in the videos. If it has improved, then that's great, and give the video a like and drop a comment below to let me know that things have improved. Right, so we're over at Catherby now, and before we do anything else, it's time for a very, very special moment. Let's get our first skilling cape from that Wintertodt grind we worked so hard for. Look at it. Absolutely beautiful. The first of many, hopefully. Okay, that's enough self-admiration, I think. We're going to go grab the insect repellent here so that we can pick up some beeswax. Also, we have a light source now in the fire-making cape, and we need that to go get the boots of lightness, but if you don't have one, you can swing by the candle shop just here and buy candles as your light source moving forward. So that's the beeswax that we needed. And also me forgetting to close the Runelight sidebar, because this is what I was messing with the graphics that I was talking about. We're also going to pick a few flax for the achievement diary, and then also speak to Sherlock again for the diary. Right, over to the Temple Icov to grab the Boots of Lightness. You also need some sort of slashing item to get through here, so I swung by the bank quickly just to grab the knife. You can use any normal slash item. And while we're here, we're going to just stockpile a bunch of these Boots of Lightness. You never know when you might lose them, so just hop worlds for a little bit and collect a few. So we've got our little blue booties. We're going to start up Merlin's Crystal and just progress it to the point where we have to go down to Catherby, but we don't want to go there yet. Then we're going to swing by Sears Bank and grab our fishing pass and whatever else we need for the fishing contest. You can see garlic in the house there I'm just running past. You can grab that if you haven't got it already, but we already got some back at Draenor Village before. Anyway, we're going to continue with fishing contest till we've picked up the trophy, and now we're going to head back to Sears Village and do a little bit of fishing ourselves. So just doing a bit of fly fishing up here above Sears Village. I'd actually forgotten that you can do it here, which is great because we don't have to go back to Edgefield, and we do want to bank these fish as a bit of a cooking experience and food for later on. I'm going to stick here for a little bit and we'll probably grind up to about level 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. What am I doing with my life? I'm sorry guys, no more singing. 3, 2, 1, and that's 35 fishing done. We have now unlocked the second big skilling boss, Mr. Tempoross. But before we leave the area, we'll quickly knock out Murder Mystery while we're here. So a small detail to note, if you wanted to be like ultra efficient, you could actually do Murder Mystery while you were training the fishing, because you have to run back and forth from the manor a couple times like I'm doing here. You could fish a load of inventory, do the first step of the quest, then run down to the town, bank your fish, and then do the next stage of the quest, run back, fish, and next stage of the quest, so on and so forth. But I mean, it's such a negligible little efficiency boost that I couldn't be bothered doing that. And that's Murder Mystery complete, so another quest in the book. We're pretty much done with this side of the map now, so let's head back to Lumbridge with just a home teleport. Sneaky little 21 craft in there as well. Actually, while we're in Lumbridge, it reminded me that the 10th anniversary is going on, so I figured we might as well do the event. It's just a nice, short, quick little event. It's absolutely incredible that Oldchool Runescape is 10 years old. I can't believe it. I was trying to work out when I first started playing, so I was looking at Tempor OSRS on my main, and the first data point apparently is in April 2015, but I already had 4 million XP there, so it means I played earlier than that. I know I didn't play at the very start, but I guess it must have been pretty close actually. Speaking of which, let me know, when did you guys start playing Old School if you remember? Drop a comment below, I'd be curious to hear. I've actually been playing RuneScape since RuneScape 2 back in the day. I didn't play RuneScape Classic, I was a bit too young for that, but I did play RuneScape 2 from when I was a kid, so it's been a long time, a massive part of my life. The one game that I've never really quit. But yeah, this quest is pretty straightforward. You just do a little bit around Lumbridge, you get teleported to Valador, look at some cakes, and you're done. You get some nice fancy little fashionscape. And there's also a museum, I think, under the party room, but I didn't have a look at it today, but we'll go have a look one day, I think, and there's a lot of cool stuff down there that I didn't know was here. So the anniversary event was a fun little detour, but getting back on track now, we started up Prince Ali Rescue back over in Alcarid, and then we're going to head down and jump on the ferryman's boat over to Tempoross. Ah, Tempoross, Jagex's second attempt at the old skilling boss mini-game content. Back in 2016, Jagex released one mysterious swirling whirlpool that just spits out resources. Every Iron Man's best friend for the loot, but also worst nightmare for the gameplay and grind. So what did Jagex do? They released another whirlpool that also spits out resources like crazy. But this time they put an angry blobby boy inside, so, you know, progress I guess. Even though it's been out for a couple of years, I've actually only done Tempoross once before in my life during the Shattered Relics League, so let's give it a whirl on the Mass Worlds first and see how we go. I have heard that apparently, I think it is easier generally or just more chill to do it as solo, but we'll do a Mass World run first and see what's in store for us. One thing that I do know about Tempoross, which is significantly better than Wintertodt, is there's no random chip damage that you have to deal with, so you're not going to get your actions interrupted all the time. You still have to pay some attention, you know, to click on the totem poles and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near as bad as Wintertodt. There we go, a double fishing spot. So you can see it's actually highlighted green because I'm using Runelight. I think that just comes in the base Runelight fishing plugin. There is a Tempoross specific plugin with a whole bunch of other features, but I haven't fiddled with that yet. I think the general method people go with is you cook in between double fishing spots, and then as soon as a double fishing spot comes, you go and grab the fish from there. You can see me running around like a goose, not knowing what to do with the thundercloud because I didn't have any buckets of water on me either. I've filled my buckets up now so that I'm not a complete noob, but in these mass worlds I've noticed you can generally just wait for someone else to clear the fire, but rather have it on hand just in case. Although the other thing is, like I said, because you can usually wait for someone else to do it, you can probably just save inventory spaces and not have the buckets and just fill up your inventory with fish. Maybe keep one just in case no one's doing it, but yeah. For the mass worlds I think it's just fish and cook and shoot really. Hey, there's a fishing level snuck up on me. So it's only game one, but I definitely am enjoying this a lot more than Wintertodt. It feels a lot more cruisy, like you still have to pay attention here and there, but you're not getting randomly interrupted, you're not getting this frustrating damage non-stop. You can just sort of cruise along and do what you got to do. So whilst I was joking earlier on about Jagex just making a new whirlpool with a little blob inside of it, I must say it is definitely, from a gameplay point of view, it feels a lot nicer and it's an improvement over Wintertodt in my opinion. Victory is ours, the first of many. Well, actually, I don't know how many I'll do. Like, it's enjoyable. I definitely enjoy it, but I mean, barbarian fishing is usually the go-to, especially because early strength and agility levels, but I reckon I'll hang around here for a little bit. I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, at the very least, we'll be here until we actually unlock barbarian fishing. I reckon I'll save up a bunch of permits and do a nice big loot haul at one stage later on, but let's do the first one at least and see if we're going to be blessed at all. Oh, spirit flakes. So I don't think that's anything crazy. That's pretty normal, but collection log at least. Yep, okay. Nothing too crazy, but I mean, we didn't get anything good on the first Wintertodt crate and we saw how that turned out with 2 dragon axes eventually. So I'm going to keep going with some more Tempoross. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep following the series, please drop a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And you can catch the previous episode on screen now. Have a good one, guys. See ya.